Hey, I'm back.
Hi everyone. That's right. Sorry, that was my cue. I missed. Welcome back. Yeah, let's continue.
All right. So, you've made it into the woods and past the deadly uh, gigas, and you are now heading through the woods. Uh, and you get closer to the fairy ants' territory. You start to see evidence of their habitation. Uh, Worker ants scurrying around in various forms, working human fields or humanoid fields from our world. That they'll come in and take the reflected crops and take them back to the fairy ant nest and things like that. And as you continue along, uh, you come to a strange scene where along the side of the road there are two fairy ants in sort of humanoid looking forms, wearing rags, uh, and they look up as you come along and they say, please wait.
I'll I'll whoa my horse.
All right, and you hold up and they say, please, we're starving. Could we have some of those pies?
How do y'all know what's in that wagon there?
They look at each other for a moment and then they say, the smell. They smell delicious.
Ants can't smell rhubarb.
And Mustard Seed says, actually, we can.
I was talking to you.
And Cobweb crosses several of her arms and looks down and says, these pies are for the queen. A worker should never receive food before the queen.
Oh man, some like class warfare going on right now.
And the worker ants are like,
the ants.
please, we'll starve to death without them.
Do they look like?
What?
Do they look like they're starving?
You would say yes. It's kind of hard to tell with an ant body, but they look awful thin.
Uh-huh.
I wish Irma had enough stress to flash back to getting some dead unicorn meat,
Mm.
but I don't have enough stress. I think guilt trip. Damn it! None of my other teammates are willing to flash back. Okay, moving on.
No,
to
I
the
mean,
next place.
I can do it. I can do it. I was like, I mean,
Yeah, no. I'll. I think Irma will just kind of like. What about the boysenberry? Can they at least have a boysenberry pie?
And Cobweb says, that's not our way. The queen must receive the food first. She's the most important thing in our entire culture. To her, the workers can be sacrificed if that's what it takes for her convenience.
aren't you all related though?
Yes?
So
Can I reach into my saddlebags and use because I have I believe supply.
You could also just pay a load if you want to just pull out just some food.
Yeah, I'll pay a load and reach into my reach into my saddlebags and pull out one load of food. Let's say it's mostly trail rations and beef jerky and stuff like that, and offer that to them.
And you see for a moment they look at Cobweb and she gives a nod, and then they say thank you, and they take the food and they eagerly eat it between the two of them.
Okay, and that was not the queen's food, and so
Right.
there's
Yes. And
no disruption in
Yeah.
protocol.
Cobweb says yes, that's fine. You can share your food with them if that's your way.
Why did you nod to them? Why do they need your permission to accept the food that they asked for?
Well, Mustard Seed and I are guards, so we're higher in the class hierarchy of the hive. We were letting
Right.
them know.
Higher form of being.
Thank you. Yes, you understand perfectly how we think.
I think what they
So
was checking to make sure that what I was giving them was not considered Queen's food and therefore not a violation of protocol.
Mm-hmm.
I
All
guess
right.
what I ask him is, so I was told you ants like that memory drug. So is it
Oh.
Oh,
the
Lethian
war?
ink.
Yeah, is it you that like them, or the poor people, or the royal people? What's the deal with the relationship with the memory drugs and the whole royalty class thing?
So
I was
Cobweb explains as you ride on and says basically the way it works is that when fairy ants are born, we're born as ants, little insects with barely any thoughts at all. We harvest Lethian ink from various sources with more intelligent memories from beings higher up the great chain of being, and we then put those memories into the ants so that they become aware and are capable of taking on more powerful and more useful forms.
well,
And
hold on. How do you split these memories? Because I will gladly give these ants my memories. If that's what it takes for them to be free, Grigsby will do it.
Wait, does wood ink?
well, Lethian ink and Philosopher's Stone would actually have an alchemic reaction if you combine them. So I don't think you could give up your memories like that. I think they would probably. Oh no, you could write with them. So yeah, you could write out your memories in ink, and then they could take those in.
But the question is, does
Okay.
Grigsby actually know how to write?
Of course, Grigsby knows how to write. He's thoroughly insulted by that, Irma. He's been keeping a journal the entire time. He's got dreams too. He's like, yeah, but he does.
Not like I've read them. Totally have, Jack. We'll talk about it later. So, like, are you telling me that you harvest ink from other intelligent beings like vampires and then feed it to your young?
I think vampires is an unfair comparison. Often we'll trade for it, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if in that wagon of yours there's barrels of Lethian ink with useful memories taken from willing subjects.
Uh-huh.
You don't say.
Willing.
There are many people who happily would give away certain memories of their past that they don't want to remember.
But don't you simply think that a lower species and a lower intelligence or level of living could be expressed as it is your duty to give that up?
I see you really do understand our culture.
Told you. That's why I don't like ants.
Irma is like just
Do it.
turning around and like
Do it.
totally mime swearing everything and then like looking back.
Why
and
did
being
he shake his hand?
There's a sense
Weird.
of it's very similar to practices we've picked up from human culture. In the territories that we protect and administer, we levy a tax in memories that we collect from our subjects and use for our own purposes.
So, is there any way we can turn these into happy memories?
You could give us your happy memories. We'll happily take them.
Even your unhappy memories to yourselves.
We'll take those too. We usually fill our workers with unhappy memories. They're cheap and easy to acquire. And the wagon pulls up to the last safe spot before the castle, and so you can see it now. And up on a hill, they've built this vast ant hill, but it's made of sort of just a random reconstruction of architecture. It looks in parts like a castle wall with stone bricks, and in other parts like a fancy mansion with wood paneling and paint, and it's all just sort of piled up on top of each other. And the guides say, "Up there, that's our destination. Now we've just got to wait for the wind to die down and travel on up there, and the queen will be waiting to receive your lavish gifts."
Very good. It looks like you've built your castle from bits and pieces of things that have blown in from the other world.
Yes. We took bits and pieces, took them through a portal, and we built this castle on Earth so that it can survive the wind.
Lovely.
So let me get this straight. Because you've never been a beetle before, you view it as a lesser species than what you currently are?
Mustard Seed nods and says, "Yes, I respect the strength of the beetle and their armor, and so that's why I took those features onto myself. But beetles like yours are lesser beings that are, less worthy."
Hey, man.
Uh-huh.
I kind of try to catch Irma's eye and note that our goal here is to make friends with these folks.
Yes, Jock.
Grigsby's gonna be like, "Hey, man, beetles have rights, just like trees," and then flashes leaf bling, be like, "Trees matter. It's important."
They look confused and they're like, trees have rights?"
Yeah.
You should tell them take a leaflet.
That was good. I think I will.
Grigsby's just pulling off leaves off of himself.
Yeah.
Writing little journal entries on him and handing them out. Like his own propaganda.
Cobweb rests one of her hands on your shoulder and says, "You're a golem, right? Not a tree."
It is okay to drink today.
Don't tell him that.
It's
He
for the
can't
lesser
handle-
beings. I mean, his words, not mine. I'm trying to help them. Yeah.
All right. And so Cobweb says, the wind has died down. Now is the time to charge up the hill.
Let's do this thing.
All right. Same as last time, you guys are going to, Jack's going to ride on the side on his horse and everybody else is going to pile into the pie cart.
Yeah, but during the first leg of the journey, none of us have actually inspected the wagon.
Mm-hmm.
I think just based on the last conversation that we've had with Mustard Seed and Cobweb, like Irma is kind of like, "Oh, my feet are tired." Not like she's walked a single step this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just go in the back and like try to figure out like, is there anything else going on here? Is it just pies?
So there are pies. The pies are real. There are also trade goods. But then, just like Cobweb suggested, there are big barrels of Lethian ink that are being provided by your town as a major incentive to the Fae, basically saying, "Hey, look what we're going to trade you as part of this alliance."
I think Irma's going to siphon off of just a little bit to like
Just
verify
take a little
it.
taste.
Yeah, kind of like figure out like, were they happy? Were they given freely? Like,
you take a taste on your tongue, and you get a memory of two people walking on a beach, and then the memory just sort of poofs away from just that little taste.
romantic.
It seems so unethical. Where did they get these memories from? Like, were the memories harmed in the procurement?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think
Well,
Irma will.
What do we know about where the town? I mean, we live in this town, right? So,
Yep.
What do we know about where this ink might have come from?
Do you want to flash back to have this conversation with the townsfolk before you leave?
Yeah.
For free. I'm not charging any stress
sure.
for this. Just yeah.
Sure. All right.
And so one of the town elders, who's loading the wagon, you see him load on these barrels of ink, and he's like, oh yes, and don't forget to give them these, some of our highest quality goods.
Okay. Looking through those, and so there's quite a bit of ink here. That looks pretty valuable.
Oh, it is. Yes.
Oh.
We paid quite the pretty penny for that.
You're definitely investing in this alliance.
Yeah, the Fae are excellent trading partners for people who live in Ildathok. They can provide us with all sorts of valuable creatures that we could use to enhance our town. This very beetle we live upon was probably crafted by one of the Fae gods in the old times.
Oh, interesting. And where does the Lethean ink come from?
Oh, we trade for it. We let people write out their life experiences, take it out of themselves, and then we exchange it for money.
Oh, so it's a voluntary exchange between the town and people who choose to give you those memories?
Yes. People sell their memories.
So it was procured via sales, not extracted through a tax or anything.
No. The fairies do that, and I'm sure there are some towns that do, but no, we don't do that directly. Of course, people can turn their memories into money and then pay their taxes with that money.
I can sell my memories?
Well, you're a golem, but oh no, yeah, okay, again, you can write them. Yes, you could sell your memories. Yes.
So I guess my next question is: are they? We aren't planning on doing a sort of memory tax or anything as a bartering chip with the Fae.
No, that's not part of our agreement. We would trade them this Levian ink, which is easier for us to source because we've got all these trade agreements with other human towns, and so we can aggregate it. But we're not planning to extort it from anyone or anything like that.
So just as an aside, you'd say that we're fairly comfortable with the government of our town?
That's up to you. You guys make up the home. If you want it to be something you rebel against, that's your choice. But
all right. Well, I mean, I think we're in a position to be defending them, so I'd prefer they feel like something reasonably not necessarily perfect, but worth defending.
Exactly.
I would definitely prefer a happy home life compared to the rest of this system.
Yeah. And
me
so
too.
your town is safe and prosperous. You probably got these memories either from townsfolk voluntarily selling them away, or just from the goods that you harvest in Ildathok and trade with other towns on Earth. And several steps down that supply chain, they may have been sourced unethically. That could be an investigation for the next score if you want.
Sure.
That could be a fun topic to pursue.
I think for now, I'm pretty comfortable with this ink and trading it.
All right.
Would you folks agree?
Yeah, I would say maybe
I
like
would agree.
Yeah.
I'd probably take another little taste of it just to make sure.
It's a guy who's outside in the sunshine, and he's hammering a sword, and he's just slowly smithing a sword. And you see a barrel of swords across from him, and then the memory just fades away.
Yeah.
I didn't even see how hot he was.
Should have had him look in a mirror.
Grigsby's gonna pop in and be like, "You're sampling the stash without me? Hold on." It's gonna take a big drip of one of them and be like, "Yeah, oh, this one."
Just then, Mustard Seed's gonna be like, "Yeah," and the wagon's gonna start heading up the hill.
All right, let's go.
And so you bolt the barrel back up, and that's when I'm going to use the Nemesis Strike.
Oh man.
So there is a Nemesis Strike called the Chasing Strike, which means that, or is that what it's called? Yeah, Chasing Strike. The Nemesis are pursuing the players and automatically gain a means of transportation that can rival theirs. So the gang of Alpin are going to pursue you up the hill aboard their Horetsi, which is a giant frog monster. Let's see if I can make them appear. And then make them visible to the audience.
Giant frog monster.
Ooh, that's
Our GM just really wants us to croak. I'm sorry. I will admit I'm usually not this funny. I don't know why I've done this good.
Oh, keep going.
all right. And so to set the scene, the creature is just sort of dragging its massive belly and pursuing you. But the horses are not doing so great going uphill, so it's keeping up with you anyway. And from inside it, a swarm of bugs are coming out towards you. These are called Alpen, which are little bugs that land on your skin, spit Lethian ink onto you, and then drink it back up to steal away your memories. And then leading the bugs and riding on top of the frog are the Tankappen Alpen, which are what happens when they've stolen enough memories that they can jump into a human body, just like the fairies do. And so the Tankappen leader says he pulls out a rifle and points it at you and says, "Your memories or your life."
Don't have either.
So what does the Tankalpan look like?
The Tankalpan Alp is just I think he's in a human body. Let me double check that though.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, he's in a human body. And all of the Tankappa Alps keep their original body, their Alp, hidden somewhere on their body, and if that gets destroyed, they die. Not very easy to target in this circumstance, but just some information for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last twist going on here is that the hunter among them has a pet Aranyas, which is a type of Fomorian, similar to the one you fought before, but this one is much smaller. It's only threat 3.
Uh-huh.
Only threat 3. Okay, so big frog, pirate dude,
Yep.
pet man.
Yep, and then there's also a warrior who's just got armor and a big hammer.
Okay.
So, question from the last scene where we were at the barn and everything to now, is that still considered the same score or whatnot?
Yeah,
or
it's the same mission.
same mission, so Irma's stress remains the same.
Yes.
Okay.
We
Oof.
haven't recovered stress.
And Mustard Seed and Cobweb say, these bandits have been harassing us for a while now. As soon as we can get up to the top of the hill and inside the castle gates and slam them, there's nothing they'll be able to do to us. So if we can get that far, we've escaped them.
How far is that?
I'm gonna say it's like a 4 o'clock. I'll put that out next to the pie wagon. So you can go for the gate, or you could try fighting them, or you can do a mix.
What do you guys think?
I'm guessing we're going to end up with a mix. I could try using my parlay ability, which starts our negotiation at controlled, at least.
Yeah.
From there, I can slip into one of my famous costumes.
You could also survey to see if you can find out where his secret Alpen body is being kept on him.
And then once we know that, we can just go all in and grab it.
Grab it, or I could try to shoot it.
Yeah.
So I'm at least going to start talking, trying to at least buy some time, maybe for my friends here to gather some information or get themselves set up to be able to fight these people. I'm thinking we're probably going to fight them no matter what. But
Okay.
I'm
Buying
gonna.
time sounds like a setup action.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Using probably emote.
Right, which I have 0 dots in.
Mm.
Oh, actually, let me do that because I have emote and I also have bait,
Okay.
which essentially provokes the enemy to put the focus on me, and I get an additional 1 die for it.
Right
Alright.
now, the 2 focuses in play is Nathan, the leader of the bandits, has got his focus on your wagon, and then the hunter has got his focus on his pet Fomorian.
Okay.
And so that would draw their focus to you.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yep. Let's do that.
We'll fast talk them.
Team Deathwish in action right here. The fast talking crew.
Literally for the aspect of I only have 2 stress anyway left.
You have so much stress already.
Because I failed. I only rolled a 3 on my last resist roll. So
Oh, Jack's got 6 too. Oh man. Okay.
It's all up to you, Grigsby.
So I think Irma will go ahead and kind of like, now listen here, folks. I don't have much of a life, so you can take that. But like memories, do you see me? Why would you ever want to take a memory off of this? She's literally inside of a pot full of water on top of a beetle. And I think that will be kind of like her little speech as she's trying to give everyone else.
So you're just trying to draw their attention.
Oh
with
yeah.
That. Okay. So that sounds like an emote, for sure. Setup action, and you're gonna try and draw their focuses onto you, you'll get +1d from bait, I believe.
Yes.
All right. Oh, so that should be risky, because he might shoot you, and normal because that is a persuasive argument for them.
All right.
Yes.
6.
Nice. And so he aims his rifle and then he turns it away at the last minute and he's like, maybe we don't want your memories. Okay. And so with normal effect, that means that Nathan and the hunter are now both focusing on you. So if you do anything or if anybody does anything that interacts with you, it'll trigger their controlled consequences.
Got it.
I asked Grigsby if he can see where this guy might be keeping his little body.
Yeah, Grigsby's gonna narrow his eyes and the telescope and come out.
All right, they hide it pretty well, so I'm going to say you're at limited limited effect, and since you're having to poke your head out and they're shooting at you, it'll be risky. So limited risky.
Limited risky, huh? I am going to, I guess, push for effect.
Okay, so that'll get you up to risky normal.
Okay, roll 2d6. Ooh, I got a 3.
You did not find it, and while you're looking, bang! He shoots off one of your branches, so that'll be a wound.
Man, rude.
And since you are a golem, you'll just cross it out so it won't impair you.
The heck? What's that for?
You want to try again or try something else?
Yeah, I guess I am going to try to. What's the special box do?
You can check it off to have a companion, like Irma's beetles.
Oh, okay.
There are also various special abilities that can make use of it.
So I have dashing. What does that give me?
It means you can also use your outfit box as a special box. So you could have 2 companions, or you could use one of those special abilities twice.
Oh. Do I have any of those special abilities?
I would have to look at your character sheet. Let me see. But it'll specifically say, check a special box to do this special thing.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, I don't have
yes,
any of-
you do. You have Master of Disguise.
Oh, okay, cool. So I mean, can I use that right now?
Always.
Okay, cool. So I will use my Master of Disguise ability.
Alrighty.
And
So that is, you check a special box and make a finesse fortune roll.
okay. I don't have any finesse. So
Well, it's a fortune roll, so the worst thing that can happen is just the 1 to 3 result.
I guess 5.
Holy cow. All right. So, you falteringly imitate a call out NPC. Okay. So, you flash back to having joined this gang in the past and are now riding alongside them in the Frog's Mouth as one of the gang members.
Later,
However,
suckers.
Your disguise is faltering, so under
Grigsby,
investigation, they might realize you're a tree and not an Alp at all.
I'm totally interpreting like the mind's eye camera as like flashback and Grigsby dissolves and appears in the frog mouth.
I was here all along.
Yeah, but my disguise is faltering now, right?
Yeah, so that just means that it's possible for NPCs to see through it as a consequence.
I'm gonna chill there for a little bit, see what happens.
So I'm trying to figure out in the fiction how he got his wound, and now he's one of them.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm gonna assume that it was something to do with him joining the faction. They shot at him and then he was like,
part of
wait, I'm one
initiation.
of you.
Don't worry. They did, you gotta show them how tough you are. It's like,
Normally, you're supposed to use Master of Disguise at the start of the encounter, but I'm fine fudging it here.
Okay. So we're gonna hand wave this a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, that's cool. So they're not shooting at us right now.
Well, they are. Nathan, who's the one with the rifle, is taking pot shots whenever you poke your head out.
All right. So if I push and use my fan the hammer ability, it says I improve my effective scale by 1 and suppress enemies.
Mm-hmm.
So that allows me to attack as if I were a small gang. May act as a setup action, improving position on the next action against that enemy. So I want to set things up so that the team can get a head start running.
Okay.
Toward the castle. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're just gonna pop up and force them to put their heads down.
Yeah. So I'm gonna just fire off my revolver at full speed, full rate. I do have sharpshooter in case the range is an issue, and I'm gonna use that ability.
So it seems like on threat and scale, you're tying them, so that'll be normal effect.
And if I'm pushing, does that if I could push for effect?
That'll get you up to greater.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna roll 3 dice, pushing, and the push that I'm using on that Fam the Hammer ability is for effect.
All right, so that'll be a risky greater roll.
Okay. All right, let me see if I can hit the right button for this.
There you go. 4. 4 is pretty good.
It's not
Better
a 6.
than 3.
Yeah.
All right. So not only do you force their heads down, but you manage to wound the hunter character, and he is now too injured to take advantage of his focus.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and reduce his effective threat as well to represent how injured he is.
Okay.
And so he lies down bleeding, and he's like, Grigsby, what's your character's name? what's your cover's name as a member of this group?
Larsby.
And he says, Larsby, I'm bleeding out. Help. And the rain of gunshots has made the rest of the group duck down below the lid of the lower lip of the Horetzi. The Horetzi itself is so big that the bullets are just sinking into its flesh and it's not even caring.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about the Horetzi is it exists on Earth and in Ildathok at the same time. So the next time the wind blows, its wounds will actually blow away. So it doesn't care.
Interesting.
I think Irma is just continuing talking and be like, excuse me, I was in the middle of talking to you. You think you could just walk away or hide from me? No, you
They're
started the
shooting
situation.
at you, darling.
Well, they're not shooting anymore. Now they're hiding.
You started
So
this
I'm yelling,
conversation.
"Go,
I'm
go,
gonna
go."
finish it.
Okay. So you want Mustard Seed to make that fortune roll again to get you up the hill?
Yeah, let's try doing that.
Come on.
All right. So that'll get you out of fortune roll. That'll be 1 tick towards the gate.
Rolls are so trash right now. We're struggling.
Yeah,
Well-
barrel. Having somebody with barrel would have been a good call for this
Yeah,
one.
that would be nice, wouldn't it?
And so the consequence is that the hunter's pet Arinyes, which is now no longer under his control, is going to catch up to your wagon, and so it's now threatening you at close range.
Once again, I'm trying to resolve the flashback. I'm going to assume that we've repaired the wheel somewhere in there, so that we don't need Grigsby to be the wheel.
Yes.
Okay.
Since he vanished and joined the gang.
You guys were all like, "Hey, Grigsby, how are you doing?" And you look down, and it's just a regular wheel now. You're like, "Where'd he go?"
I got it. So like in between all of this, as I've been infiltrating my way to this gang, I've been periodically coming back, and like one time I snapped off my arm, and maybe both of you were horrified. I was like, no, watch. I would shape it into a wheel.
Is that where your wound came from?
It's self-inflicted.
It's okay.
Irma's just gonna look down at the circle and be like, he finally got the pose right. Excellent.
Don't feel a thing.
Yoga does do good things for people.
Yeah, feels limber.
Yeah, I think Irma is actually going to go after the pet, because that is not what the focus is on, correct?
Yeah,
the focus on me.
So the focus is on you, but focuses can't activate if they can't see you, and he's currently pinned down. So you're free to act in whatever way you want.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm using powder burn and all kinds of goodness.
So
Here.
to start with, you're going to be a desperate position because it's a threat 3 creature, so it's a big, strong monster.
Yep.
And then what are you hitting it with?
My little spice of life.
All right, so that starts at threat 1, and then it adds scale 1. And then, is there anything you're using that it's weak to?
Powder burn.
Oh, that'll push
for effect, and then also I'm usually filling it with
the white ants. And the black iron powder. Okay, so those aren't super effective against it, but that gets you up to normal effect. And since it doesn't have a fight clock, that'll take it out. So yeah, you're at desperate normal.
Come on.
And so I do have 2 morale. And what is that? How do I use that again?
Just like stress. So you can use it to push for extra dice here, or you could save it to assist or flashback.
Yeah, I'll use one here because honestly, that's the biggest threat at the moment.
Well, you use 2 to push. Yeah.
No. Okay. So question: I've already pushed for effect. Can I technically push for dice or no?
Yes. Yeah, that's actually in the Forged in the Dark rules. I was surprised to read that because I'd been playing it the other way for so long.
Just want to verify.
All right, mixed success. So you pop up over the edge and you're like, bang, bang, and
man,
it reaches up and it's going to grab you and throw you onto the ground. So you are, one consequence is that you're out of the wagon, and then the other consequence is you take a wound from that.
Okay.
Thinking.
So Ian, I'm with the people, the frog
The
people,
bandits. Yep.
the bandits. One of them just got shot and is asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything explosive or possibly?
You want to make a survey roll to find some explosives? You can.
What about a dabble? Can I dabble for it?
No.
Okay. What can I dabble for?
To solve mysteries, or to know things about academic fields like history. So, for example, you could solve the mystery of where they're probably keeping their real bodies, or you could solve the mystery about the Horetzi, like why it's moving so much faster than they normally do.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for something explosive.
Yeah, all right, that's a survey roll then.
Or instead of taking a wound, I am going to use my outfit, my billowing long coat.
Ah, there you go.
Because it's flashy, and essentially what it does is because it billows, it kind of cushions my fall, so I don't necessarily take damage.
So that turns it into a glancing hit, which means now you can just pay one more stress to get rid of it entirely. Stress.
Sure, I'll go up to 7 stress. Let's do it.
All right. So you survive the hit, the fall, and then do you want to be taken out of the wagon at all? You could also resist that separately. It's a pretty dangerous situation out there, but with the monster dead, it shouldn't be too hard to jump back in if you've got good barrel.
None of us has good barrel.
Oh, I know.
That's why he keeps bringing it up. I don't have any barrel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
At 7 stress, you can still resist.
I totally can, and then I will have 0 stress to be able to play with more.
Yep. Unless you roll a 6.
I don't know if I like this. You can put me on the spot.
Well,
I
in
can
the
go
meantime,
again.
we can resolve Red's
yeah,
action.
Yeah.
So,
let's do that.
Was that a 5 or a 2 there?
5.
Great. Okay. So you did manage to find an explosive. Specifically, Nathan has a grenade, but it is hooked on his belt. So you succeeded, and the consequence is that it is not easy to access that explosive. So you can resist that consequence, and it'll be somewhere else.
The
Or you
pin
can...
might be, right there, ready to pull on his while it's on his belt. You don't necessarily have to get it off the belt. In fact, it could be very convenient for it to be right there on his belt.
Okay. So I guess definitely I will start a ruckus. I'll email all over the place and be like, Nathan, buddy, oh pal, and try to get really friendly with good old Nathan with the grenade on his belt.
Okay. Since your disguise is faltering, I'm going to say that's risky. And I would say you should have normal effect. So yeah, risky normal. Deathwish, the game of long, thoughtful pauses.
Does my dashing help?
Your dashing gives you another special box if you want to Master of Disguise reroll or
Absolutely.
have a companion.
Like right now in the fic, that seems weird.
It's very weird.
Let's not do that. Let's just roll. Okay. Come on. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
6.
Grigsby's in business, baby.
Hey. All right. Let me talk about this. And so you get up right next to him.
And I have nimble fingers.
Oh my
Near
God.
Superhuman
Oh.
dexterity and can easily pick pockets, pick locks, disable traps, and
Yep.
slit
Full
throats.
things on grenades.
Yep.
That's right. So can I just use that to?
Yeah, no roll. You just slip the pin out anytime you want.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna slowly back. Wait, are we like high off the ground?
No, you're in a big like crawling frog monster, and so
Oh,
there's
yeah.
2 exits. You can either jump out the mouth in front of it, or you can jump into the pool, which will take you through the portal to the Earth version of this Horetsi.
Grigsby cannot comprehend the portal shit right now. I don't know. Messing with that. How about a fortune roll for that? Let's see. So.
He's gonna jump in a random direction.
Yeah, so 4 plus the portal, and okay, I'm going down the mouth, I guess. And I am going to slip the pin. Grigsby's gonna slip the pin, and he's gonna be making small talk with Nathan this entire time. Be like, Nathan, remember, we met a long time ago. And then I'm gonna be like, what? And I'm gonna slowly sort of try to back off towards the mouth until my hands turn into birds and then jump off.
You use your special ability so nobody can notice that you're changing your hands until it's too late.
Yeah.
And then you're diving out the side of the mouth.
Yeah.
All right, so you dive out and start tumbling down the hill, and Nathan pops up into the gunfire, and he takes a revolver bullet to the shoulder, and he's like, Grigsby, or whatever your name was.
Lorsby.
Oh no! And he reaches out his hand to help you, and moments later, boom! Let me check how much damage a grenade does.
Leaf it to Grigsby.
So that's a threat 3.
Nimble fingers. I
scale
finally got to
1,
use it.
which means
Why didn't you use that
dead,
on the guy last
dead,
week with the trench coat?
dead.
Because I was
All
on
right.
fire, I think. Because I was on fire, so it's
No,
like
you
just...
were drinking.
Oh yeah.
The nemesis, and all of his minions, his entire squad were wiped out by the explosion. The Horetsi was badly injured, and so it's going to stop moving.
Oh no! Right as Irma was thrown in the middle of it.
Oh no.
All right. And I think that's basically it for this scene, because the wind isn't going to pick up before you guys make it to the gate. So I think we'll just wrap up here and go into our last break, and then come back in 5 minutes to meet the fairies.